Welcome, fellow crafters and cozy connoisseurs. You can feel it in the air, can't you? That
Mhm.
crispness, the leaves starting to hint at changing. It just makes you want to grab some yarn and a hook. Today on the Crafting Made Simple podcast, we're doing a deep dive into something really fun from Paper Flow Designs. They're 5 fun fall crochet patterns. And look, this isn't just going to be a list. Think of it as a shortcut, really. A way to make some beautiful, surprisingly easy and quick fall projects. Perfect if you're a busy parent, or you're thinking about handmade gifts, maybe even stocking up for a craft fair. This stuff is golden. Okay, let's unpack this.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the brilliant part, isn't it? Handmade fall things just have this warmth. But these patterns, what's really great is how they look so impressive, so detailed, but they're actually not overly complex. They sort of break it down, So you can create something genuinely stunning, even if you're maybe newer to crochet or just don't have tons of time.
Exactly. Now, before we get tangled up in yarn, just a quick reminder. If you like this kind of chat and want more tips and patterns, definitely sign up for the Crafting Made Simple newsletter. The link is right there in the description for this deep dive. It's https://birdsend.pageforms981-GLR-EKZ. Easy peasy. And don't worry about scribbling down all the supplies. We'll put a full list in the podcast notes. Or you can always find it on the blog. That's paperflowdesigns.com. Okay, so foundations first. Before we jump into the pretty patterns, what are the absolute must-haves, the toolkit basics for these fall projects?
Good place to start. Yeah, there are definitely some core things you'll probably need for most of these. First up, yarn, obviously. And for fall, you're thinking those gorgeous colors, right? Oranges, browns, deep reds, yellows, maybe some creams. And something key here is the weight. Many patterns use worsted weight, which is super versatile, but some things like a really plush pumpkin or maybe a cozy headband, they might call for bulky yarn. It really changes the look and feel.
Right, the texture totally changes.
Exactly. Then, crochet hooks. The pattern always tells you the specific size, but having a few common ones on hand is good, like 4.5 millimeter, 5.8 millimeter, 6.0 millimeters. Those pop up a lot in these fall patterns. And you absolutely need a tapestry needle. That's for weaving in your ends neatly and sewing pieces together. Makes everything look so much more finished. Oh, and scissors. A decent sharp pair for clean cuts. Non-negotiable, really.
And for people like me who sometimes lose track mid-round,
Yeah.
what helps there?
Stitch markers. Oh, yes. Lifesavers, especially working in the round, like with the pumpkins. They just, keep you honest with your stitch count. Then if you're making anything stuff like the pumpkins we'll talk about or that cute hot cocoa toy, you'll need polyester fiber fill, just the standard stuffing. And maybe some embroidery thread. For little details like faces or tiny leaf veins, a hot glue gun can also be handy, though it's kind of optional. Good for sticking on small embellishments securely if sewing isn't your favorite thing.
Okay, toolkit sorted. Let's get into the patterns themselves from Paper Flow Designs. First one. Adorable kawaii crocheted pumpkins. These just look so fun. A really playful, kind of whimsical way to add fall decor. And they sound quick to make, which is always a bonus. Here's where it gets really interesting.
They are. They're amigurumi style, which basically means cute, stuffed, often with little faces, really captures that playful vibe. Material-wise, you're usually looking at worsted weight yarn, maybe a white or cream for the pumpkin body. Then something bright like purple or orange for the stem. You'll need black for the face details, maybe a little pink or purple for blush on the cheeks. A G-hook, that's 4.2 millimeters, is pretty common. And fiber fill, of course. For the eyes, you've got options. Safety eyes give that classic toy look. Or you could just embroider them with black thread for something softer.
So what's the technique that gives them that specific pumpkin shape? It's not just a ball, right?
Good question. It starts simple enough with a magic circle. Then you increase outwards, work straight for a bit to get the height, and then decrease back down. Standard sphere stuff. But the clever part, the real insight, is how you shape it after stuffing. You leave a long yarn tail when you finish off. Then you take that tail on your tapestry needle and you thread it right through the center, from bottom to top, pulling it slightly taut. Repeat that a few times around the pumpkin. That pulling action creates the little grooves, those indentations. It's a fantastic trick to get that pumpkin look without any complicated shaping in the pattern itself. Super smart.
That makes sense. So simple but effective.
Totally. And the stem is just a little tube, basically. Chain and single crochet in rounds. Cheeks are tiny flat circles. For the face, you pop in the safety eyes, maybe between rounds 7 and 8 usually. Then embroiders will smile, simple V-shapes work great. So on the blush circles just under the eyes, you can even add a little curly vine next to the stem if you want extra cuteness. Just chain about 20 stitches, let it curl, and sew it on. It's all about those little finishing touches.
Love the curly vine idea. Okay, moving from cute decor to something for the table, pumpkin placemats and coasters.
Mm,
These sound really practical for festive meals, and maybe a good one for beginners, plus great gift potential.
definitely great gifts. And yes, this project actually has two main parts. You've got the crocheted pumpkins, which can be different sizes, and then the placemats themselves. The pumpkins use similar techniques to the kawaii ones, just without the faces usually. Magic circle, single crochet, increase, work straight, decrease. You'll use fall colors, orange, yellow, red, cream, green for the stem. A G or H hook, so 4.0 or 5.0 millimeters, and fiberfill. The key to getting different sizes, small, medium, large, is just how many increase rounds you do before you start working straight. More increases mean a bigger pumpkin. And again, use that long tail trick to pull through the center and give them that classic pumpkin definition. Attach a simple grain stem on top.
Okay, and the placemats. How to get that nice flat circle.
Right, the placemats. You'll want maybe a multicolor yarn or several fall shades. An H hook, 5.0 millimeter, works well. They're worked in the round, starting with a chain ring, usually using double crochet stitches, which work up faster. The trick to keeping it flat, avoiding curling or ruffling, is the increase pattern. Each round, you add one more regular stitch between your increases. So like round 4 might be double crochet in the next 2 stitches, then put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, that's your increase. Then round 5 would be double crochet in the next 3 stitches, then increase. You just keep adding one more stitch between increases each round. That makes it expand evenly.
Gotcha. Systematically adding space.
Exactly. And if you want stripes, just change your yarn color every round or every couple of rounds. Super easy way to get a vibrant look. You can finish with a simple single crochet border all around the edge too, just for a nice clean finish. And a nice touch is maybe scattering some of the smaller crocheted pumpkins you made on the table, or even attaching little crocheted leaves to the placemats. Makes it all feel cohesive.
Nice. Creating a whole tablescape.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, fall leaves coasters. These look lovely. A really rich way to bring those autumn colors indoors. Perfect for a coffee table or as little gifts.
They are beautiful, aren't they? Really capture that maple leaf shape. Again, you'll want those fall yarn colors, red, orange, yellow, brown, mustard. A G hook 4.0 millimeter is typical. What's fascinating here is the construction is a bit different. It doesn't start from the center. You actually start by making the main center vein of the leaf first. Just a chain, maybe 15 stitches long, then work a few rows of single crochet back and forth to make a narrow strip.
Interesting. Why start with the vein?
It gives you a solid base to build the leaf lobes off of, creating that specific maple leaf structure more easily. So once you have the center vein, you attach your yarn to one side of it. Then you chain out, say, chain 6. Then you work back along that chain using a mix of stitches, maybe single crochet, half double double, even a treble crochet near the tip to create the shape of the first lobe. Then you slip stitch back to the main vein. The clever bit is for the next lobe up, you attach the yarn again, but this time you chain longer, maybe chain 8. Work your stitches back. And for the top lobe, chain even longer, like chain 10. This increasing chain length creates that fanning out shape of the leaf lobes naturally. Then you just repeat the same 3 lobes on the other side of the vein.
Wow, that's quite methodical. Builds the shape step by step.
Precisely. The stem is easy. Just attach yarn to the bottom of the vein, chain about 8, single crochet back down, done. To finish it off nicely, you do a single crochet border all the way around the edge of the leaf. And make sure to put maybe 3 single crochets right in the tip of each lobe. That makes the points nice and crisp. You could even add extra detail by embroidering little veins on the surface or doing surface crochet. And you can totally play with yarn weight for different sizes. Someone even suggested adding thin craft wire inside the edge as you crochet the border, if you want the leaves to hold a specific shape for decorating.
That wire idea is brilliant, especially for garlands or maybe a wreath. Okay, moving on. As it gets cooler, we need practical things too. Crocheted pumpkin-themed headbands. These sound like a great accessory, stylish, warm, and apparently quite quick to make. Like a couple hours, perfect for last-minute makes or craft fairs.
Oh yeah, these are super popular and relatively fast. Great for using up leftover yarn too. You need a main color for the band itself, then an orange or similar for the little pumpkins, and a bit of green for the stems. An H hook, 5.0 millimeter, is a good size. The headband base is pretty straightforward. You chain enough stitches to fit comfortably around your head, maybe 19 to 21 inches, but check the stretch of your yarn. Then you just work rows of single crochet until the band is the width you like, maybe 3 or 4 inches wide.
Oh, okay, but how do you get that twisty sort of bow-like look in the middle that you often see?
Ah, the twist. It's surprisingly simple. Once your rectangular band is done, before you sew the short ends together, you literally just give the middle of the band a half twist. Then you bring the short ends together and seam them, either with single crochet or a whip stitch. That twist creates the gathered bow-like effect at the front. Super easy, but looks really chic. Then you make the little pumpkin appliques separately. Tiny flat circles, basically. Magic circle. Increase a couple of rounds with single crochet. Leave a long tail for sewing. Add a tiny green chain for a stem. Then you just arrange these little pumpkins on the headband, however you like, maybe clustered near the twist or scattered around, and sew them on. Weave in your ends, and you're done. It's a really satisfying, quick make. And that twist is key to the style.
Love it. Quick, stylish, practical. Okay, last pattern from the main list, and this one is just pure fun.
Yeah.
The hot cocoa drink crochet toy. This sounds absolutely adorable. A unique decoration, maybe even a soft toy for kids. It just screams cozy.
It really does. It's such a whimsical, charming little thing. You've got the crochet mug, the swirl of whipped cream on top, and that sweet little marshmallow face. For yarn, you'd want a nice mug color like brown or rust. White for the whipped cream, then tiny bits of maybe red, yellow, green for sprinkles if you want them, and a beige or light pink for the marshmallow face patch, and maybe some rosy cheeks. Again, a G-hook, 4.0 millimeter, is common. Fiber fill for stuffing, and either safety eyes or embroidery thread.
How do you build the mug shape? And is there a trick to getting nice, straight sides?
The mug starts with a flat base, like the pumpkin's magic circle, increasing rounds of single crochet until it's the diameter you want. Maybe 36 stitches around, or more if you want a bigger mug. Now, for the sides, here's a neat tip. The very first round where you start building upwards, work those stitches into the back loops only of the base circle stitches. Doing that creates a slight ridge, a defined edge between the base and the sides. It helps the mug stand up straighter and look more, well, mug-like.
Back loops only for the first side round. Clever.
Yeah. Then after that first round, you just work regular single crochet rounds, going through both loops as normal without any increases until the mug is as tall as you want it. The handle is just a strip chain, maybe 16, single crochet back along the chain, and then sew the ends onto the side of the mug. For the whipped cream, you make another flat circle base that fits the top opening of the mug. Increase rounds until it's the right size, then work a few rounds of single crochet straight up for a bit of height. To get the swirl, you start doing shell stitches like single crochet, half double crochet, all in the same stitch, spaced maybe every 3 or 5 stitches around. That makes it puff out and look like piped cream. You might decrease a little bit right at the very top to make it peak.
And the little face just makes it, doesn't it?
It totally does. You make a separate flat circle for the marshmallow face patch, maybe in beige. Increase it until it's a good size for the front of the mug, then sew it on. Add safety eyes or embroider eyes, a little embroidered smile, maybe tiny pink circles for blush. And if you want sprinkles, just make tiny chains, like 2 or 3 stitches long, in bright colors and tack them onto the whipped cream. Remember to stuff the mug firmly before you sew the whipped cream top on. Stuff the whipped cream a bit too, then sew it all together. It's just layers of cuteness.
Sounds delightful. A real conversation piece. Okay, we also have a bonus project mentioned, large, chunky crochet pumpkins. These sound perfect for making a bigger statement with home decor. That texture must be amazing.
Oh, it is. What's fascinating here is just how much impact that bulky yarn has. It creates this incredible texture and scale. Really gorgeous for a fall display. You'll need proper bulky weight yarn for these cream, orange, whatever you like, maybe a darker yarn like gray or brown for the stem, and a much bigger hook to match the yarn size K, 6.5 millimeters, or maybe even larger. And you'll need a good amount of fiber fill.
So the actual construction is similar to the little pumpkins, just bigger and chunkier.
Pretty much, yeah. The core technique is the same. Magic circle start, single crochet increase rounds. But with the bulky yarn and larger hook, you just keep going with those increases for longer to get a much wider base, maybe 60 or 70 stitches around for a really large one. Then you work straight for the height, maybe 6 to 8 inches tall or however big you want it. Then decrease rounds to close the top. Stuff it really well, and then that crucial shaping step again. Use the long tail, pull it through the center from top to bottom multiple times, cinching it to create those deep grooves. With the bulky yarn, those grooves look really dramatic and defined. The stem is made the same way as before, just scaled up a bit with the bulky yarn and bigger hook, sew it on top.
You can make different sizes for stacking.
Absolutely. Just stop the increased rounds earlier if you want a medium or smaller chunky pumpkin. It's easy to create a whole patch of them in different sizes just by adjusting how wide you make the base. It shows how changing just yarn weight and size parameters can totally transform a basic pattern. You know, if we connect this to the bigger picture, all these patterns, from the tiny kawaii ones to these big, chunky pumpkins. They really showcase how accessible and rewarding crochet can be for fall. They use fairly simple stitches and techniques, but combine them in clever ways to create things that look really special. Perfect for enjoying yourself, gifting, or even selling. It's about making something beautiful feel achievable.
It really is inspiring. And just a reminder, if you want more inspiration like this landing in your inbox, do sign up for the Crafting Made Simple newsletter. The link's right there in the description. https://birdsenduppageforms981bozlriso. And again, all the supply details and links to patterns we chatted about are in the podcast notes, or head over to paperflowdesigns.com. So that leaves just one question, really. What kind of cozy autumn